Now it is.
Part two. I don't know what we're doing. I'm sorry, everybody. I was trying. I should probably start eating dog food. It help my eat more vitamins.
Yeah.
No. So what I was gonna say about a work from home day is, I had to do. I had a work from home day yesterday because we had 3 different things going on. We had.
Do you have like a little office?
No, I actually ended up kneeling on the. My laptop was dying, so at one point the laptop was, for some odd fucking reason, I had the laptop on the bed and I was kneeling straight up.
I think what I'm gonna do is,
I was actually sitting like I was a dog.
Now that
I
we're
was
recording
like
this video, I think I'm gonna do a lot of this.
No, for some reason when I think about it now, I was actually sitting like a dog. I don't know why I didn't sit on the bed.
Absolutely.
But my son was running it out with the dog. But we had to do Shane's orientation yesterday for kindergarten in the morning.
Okay.
And then we had he loved it, which was good. And but the principal, I don't want to. It was fine. Although you do one.
Principal listens.
No, I don't think she does. But you do one PowerPoint a year, and it's a 10-page PowerPoint. And it's the only one. There's only one kindergarten orientation presentation she's doing.
People that aren't in like media and shit like
don't
that
know how to do PowerPoint.
Oh my god.
Well, she was. No, there was literally.
They do like the stock
the
stuff.
swivels, like
If they every single page has some sort of like transition and it's like everything flies in or like dissolves out. Clip art everywhere.
Literally.
1,000 different fonts.
So,
live comic stands.
Yeah. This had. This is how sad it was. There were no transitions. I do feel like I need to volunteer my time at the BTA to help with the PowerPoint because this year the big innovation on the 8-page, or it had to be, I'm going to give it 8 pages. The big innovation on the 8-page PowerPoint was another parent volunteered to translate like the slides into English and Spanish. So the left side was English, the right side was Spanish, which I thought was great. But these slides were like bullets with like maybe a photo. But what was driving me crazy was the principal, as she was going through it, couldn't remember what was on the 8 slides. So she was like, so where's all this? It may be coming up being, oh yeah, so that's what I was just talking about.
You can't rely on the slide.
No, but you also have, she has to be in her 40s, our age or younger, late 30s, early 40s. She's the principal of a school, so she's not like in her 20s. But this is your, like once a year, you're meeting all the new parents.
Good luck.
And you have kindergarten, you have parents. So for us, it's our second kid.
This is her Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, and for the moms especially, we're not allowed. I'll give it a shot. There were not a lot of dads there. There were a lot of moms, and let me tell you, the tears. Because what they did is they bring you have to bring the kid in. So what they did is they put the kids into 4 tables with the 4 current teachers, and they give them 1 hour in a classroom with a teacher. So you're all there, and the kids are around the table, and they don't want to be with their parents. And then all of a sudden, they bring the teachers in, and like, hey, the kids are going to leave with the teacher. And there were a number of parents where it's really that moment of my kids going to kindergarten for the first time. For women out there, I was not as emotional about it. My wife was. Even the second kid, she was crying, and like the kids are being walked away. Some don't want to leave.
Did the kids start crying too?
No, some of the kids were like, "See you later." Some kids don't want to leave, and so you have to walk. They're walking down the hall, and then once they're in a group, I think they're fine. Mm-hmm. But like you now have the principal coming into this highly emotional group of women.
Yeah.
That like it's less about and you want to understand the rules of the school. But I also thought, as the presenter, you want to take a beat to say, "Listen, this is a big change for many of you. For if it's not, like it finally got there 35 minutes in when the school psychologist, who's like the oldest guy there and is like late 50s, early 60s, maybe he came in and he was like, listen, he acknowledged like this is a big thing, but the fact that she kept not knowing what the next slide was, and I was
know
like,
what you should do?
You could have like looked at it 5 minutes.
Yeah.
This was a very simple deck.
Set her up with Jeannie Tingo.
Who's that?
Oh please!
She's like a professional presentation.
She came to NBC.
Coach. Yeah. She does like all like the media, like she did Univision.
She's great.
NBC. It's very helpful.
Is it really?
Like,
she didn't want
it's a 2-day full course.
I actually her audio levels were fine, and it was the basic of like the show dance on this was terrible. It was a bad show dance. So then so most people got to go to this, and it ended at 11:30, and you got to go home back to work. We had
made a day of it.
No, well,
made off.
Well, no. Then we had in the afternoon. Shane had for kindergartners. You have to do a crossover special ed. It's not the special ed screening. There's a thing called IRL. What's the IRL 5? There's something you have to do for kindergarten. You screen to make sure you're okay, and then if you get services what they call in-school services. So we had to go back at 1:30 for his screening, and then at 2:00 was Emily's in-classroom birthday party. So we were at the school all day. And then
they're going to be in the same school.
That would be in the same school.
Nice. Easy.
And then, but what happened was because the special. But we did. The good news was when kids because your kid has services, right? Am I adding that? I don't know if your wife cares. My kids in services, or what? So she is. Well, anyway, my whole thing is, if your kids are in services, put them in services. It's state funded. Get them help when they need help. But we just qualified out. So after like 3 years of Shane being in the system for OT and speech, we stopped OT 7 months ago, and we just stopped speech services. So he'll be going into the school, but we'll hopefully now, based on yesterday's screening, we're lobbying for what they'll call school side services, which are less organized
So
because you
not
don't have
at
to sit
home.
around the table. Well, no, what happens is you don't have a. I think it has to do with
Well, there's
funding.
multiple kids that get it at the same time.
No. It's still individual. Like when he was in, he would go to like daycare, and then somebody would come in and give him speech or OT. But I think that's funded by the town or the state. Now the school has a speech pathologist in the school that is funded by the school. So if you're school side, their job is basically to work with the kids.
So is
who are in the
insurance
school.
out of the equation now?
There's never insurance.
Oh, I don't know.
There's never insurance.
Okay.
No, because if you're town and state funded, you go to somebody in the system that helps you out, and they'll come to your house or they'll go to your school. But that system is much more regulated. So like we literally 3 weeks ago, I go to a room with like 12 people sitting around it, and everybody just like talks about your kid. And in one regard, people talk about you. You have to, if you want the services, you have to talk worse about the condition of the child.
Yeah.
So because you want to heighten it to make it like significant, and then on the other hand,
You don't.
you
want
as a
that.
parent, like my wife was conflicted because at one point she's like, he's a mess, he threatened to kill somebody. And they're like, I'm like, once, it was like a joke, not really. But like she was trying to get a behavioral therapist. I was like, relax yourself.
Yeah.
But afterwards I was trying to figure out like how much of it was her lobbying,
Yeah.
but also how much is, because then you have the woman there going, listen, if your kid has problems, they have problems. If it's not disruptive in the classroom, it's not the school's problem. So maybe you as a parent can figure out your own independent services. But if he's not bringing that behavior, and it's not, because the whole point is, unless it's disruptive for
We
the
have
teacher,
to see it, yeah.
correct, the school system is willing to help your kid. What they need to see is, does the teacher, is he of whether it's a learning disability or behavioral,
Mhm.
is it of the point where it's disruptive for him in the classroom, and then if so, what kind of assistance to the film classroom? So as we were trying to lobby that, my wife was making him out to be a monster. They were like, he's fine.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And so he's going to hopefully get school side services. But I say lobby for it as early on as possible because I do believe kids will grow out of it. And listen, I think I need services now, and nobody gave them to me. I mean, I can barely speak English. Everybody listens to this podcast. My enunciation of words and grammar.
You're maybe taking it in English,
Your
though.
talking's not that bad.
My written
Writing,
word.
writing.
Your written
Right.
word is horrendous.
If anybody would like to
Yeah.
get an example of that, email us at Dad So Hard Podcast, and I will email you back.
A nice haiku.
And a nice haiku with no punctuation, misspellings. I mean, I love autocorrect. So, and so that was what I did. So anyway, that's my shout out for special services and everybody getting them. Danny, though, the other thing I wanted, so we're gonna have. By the way, we're gonna have more guests coming up this summer. We're actively booking them, and 2 surprises that I think we're gonna have.
Wait, next week we have a guest?
No, coming up. There's dates we need to talk off.
Gotcha.
There you go.
However, I think by the end of the summer, I'm hoping to have 2 new type of guests. One, I think we're gonna have an uncle, because we're gonna try to talk about this idea of if you don't have your own kids, or you have a kid and you're an uncle, what is the world of uncling hard, and what does that look
I
like?
like that.
And I think we're gonna break genders, and I have somebody lined up
Mom.
to talk about mom to being a wife of a Dad So Hard, not one of our wives, a wife, but also a fan of this podcast who has something to say to us.
Do we know who?
You may know. Well, I'm not going to spoil it.
Oh, okay.
Listen, well, we don't want to tease. I'm teasing.
I hate surprises.
I am.
Too.
You'll know about
We're
it.
finding out by the end of this.
Please, the amount of scheduling emails we do, you
I
guys will
hate
know.
surprises.
However, I think it's going to be because she has a lot to say and won't leave me alone about it.
Okay.
So that is a good guess because they are. So, but I talk about this because Danny became.
I just.
We're breaking
well,
news.
no, I've been an uncle, but
Well, you've been an uncle, but a new uncle.
Yeah,
What is
yeah,
that
new
called? An uncle?
a new uncle.
Is that an uncle? Or you
An uncle renewed.
Yes.
What, a renewed? No, a
I
renewed
don't know
uncle
what
would be
it's
like
not called
you stepped
anything.
away from being an uncle.
It's just called. I have another nephew now.
I think you're an uncle. I would call it an
No, it's
uncle.
not, no.
For at least a week, you're an uncle.
Yeah. So my brother just had a kid. Very exciting stuff.
Big step.
Felix Detroit McCartney.
Detroit?
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow.
Felix Detroit McCartney. Where can you?
Is
give us
that
the
like
background
never
of his
been done
names?
before? I feel like.
Probably has.
I think.
Yeah.
What made
Detroit.
them do it?
So
love of Kid
I
Rock?
believe Felix is her grandfather's name. I believe.
It's a cool name, Felix.
Yeah.
The throwback, I love it.
Yeah.
It's so. I feel like a lot of names are very cyclical. Like I feel like older names are coming back now. And I feel like a lot of the new wave of the Graysons and things like that are kind of fading out.
Yeah.
Well, there was a lot of that. I'll call them downtown New York City names.
Yeah.
Hudson.
Yeah.
Canal. I don't think Canal made it, but Hudson made it. Hudson was a name.
Yeah. So he's cute kid, big boy.
How much say did your brother you think have in the naming process?
I think it was pretty 50-50. I think.
Did they have any affiliation with Detroit?
So my dad is a huge Detroit fan.
Oh, yeah.
And so is my brother.
Gotcha.
So I think it's like
Is your dad still alive?
Yeah.
I should know that. I mean, I see pictures.
Detroit.
So yeah.
That's so cool.
So he's a day old.
Happy. Wait, so he's a. So my daughter her birthday was June 2nd. Your nephew's is June 3rd,
Yep.
which means your brother and his wife had a very good Labor Day weekend last year. Emily, there's 7, and Emily has 18 kids in her 2nd grade class. 7 of them have birthdays in June within 10 days.
No
And
way.
the teacher yesterday, I've run into her teacher now 2 weekends in a row out of school, and we went there yesterday. And she was like, gosh, we just found out today, got another June birthday in the classroom. She's like, what were you parents doing this time of year? I was like, Labor Day weekend into summer.
That's so funny.
I mean, my kids are 4 days, 3 years apart. So, because Emily was Sunday and it changed this Thursday. So we had
Do you do a joint birthday party?
We did joint birthday parties in the beginning. Now that this is actually next
Now that they
Sunday
acknowledge
will
it,
be
it's
his
like,
first big.
I have 2 cousins 4 years apart that have the same birthday.
Mary Jane's dad is a year older than his brother, so her uncle, same day.
Yeah.
To the day. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy, but if you think about back in the day when people took vacations or family
No.
events,
Back
people
in
were
the
much
day,
more
it's crazy
scheduled.
because-
Right.
But back in the day, you couldn't schedule a C-section. It was natural same day.
Correct, but yes,
That's crazy.
that is.
Yes.
Well, my mother and my grandmother had the same birthday and had the same wedding anniversary day, and my mother did not plan it.
That's cool.
And my grandmother wanted to punch her in the face. She came home, she's like, we got our wedding date. And my grandmother's like, are you an idiot? That's when I got married. And she's like, it was the only day available. So I was like, great. So now I'm like, you share. I'm like, because it's odd for my mom to have the same birthday and wedding anniversary.
Cody and my sister have the same
Yeah, I
birthday.
guess that is a little weird.
But I do think, so what made me, what I was thinking about it was, when you look back at birthdays, I'm an April birthday, which is a lot of April birthdays are 4th of July.
Mm.
And then you have, Halloween birthdays are generally I believe July.
I can't do that, man.
It's
My mom was
you
born
add
9 months
3
after
months.
her parents.
Add 3 months to your birthday. Quick rule of thumb, everybody who's listening, do it right now. Think about your birthday and go,
Ooh, their
April, May,
anniversary.
June, July. What would your parents be doing
August.
3 months ahead of your birthday? August. So they were.
No, I'm May.
You're May, so
August.
No, May.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, August. Oh sorry. I was
This
thinking.
guy.
I can't. May. I'm like, Daddy, that would be October. 3 months. May. Yeah. August. So they were probably on vacation.
They were.
Recently did this for my coworker. It was it was the middle
Fighting,
of January.
apparently.
No,
they
so,
told me.
was it a coworker or was it a friend over the weekend? I was doing this with them. And they were like, mine was the middle of January. There's no holidays. I go, let's think through. There's Martin Luther King Day. They're like, they would not have vacation.
Cold, man. Blizzard.
Well, no. So I said, well, what else would your parents have been doing? And then after 2 minutes of this woman thinking about it, she's like, oh shit, my dad's birthday's January 13th. I was like, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
You know what your mother gave him for a gift that year. Let's just be clear.
And it wasn't a blowy.
No, it wasn't. So in the world of birthdays, though, I'm in the thick of it right now because we have Emily. Shane's in class birthday is Thursday. I am not working from home. My wife is going because he's too young to remember, so we're only going to do one of us. And then Sunday we're having a giant party at the house.
Parents go to the school birthday parties?
What are you talking about?
You have to bring in the cupcakes. And
Oh,
stuff.
well, your kids, good. You haven't gone to any.
Mm.
Danny, this podcast is called Dad So Hard. I think you should start showing up your kids.
Oh.
I don't think they let the parents go. I don't think
Yes,
Mary
they
Jane
do.
goes either. I think you give them the stuff and then
Wait a second. Your kid's school has a Father's Day event to bring the dads in, and they don't have birthday parties for your kids.
they do, but I don't think the parents go.
Yes, you got to bring the treat in.
Maybe
You
bring
drop it
people
off
to
at the
the
start of the day and then that's it. You don't stay for the whole fucking class.
No, you don't stay for the class. You come in for 20 minutes and you have a mini birthday party and the class sings happy birthday.
I do not think that.
Maybe when they get to
maybe they just
maybe kindergarten it starts doing that, but preschool.
No, preschool. Shane's in. We've done it in the past 3 years, and when Emily was in pre-K.
Find out right now.
Okay. Talk to your wife. And in fact, so Emily, my lovely daughter, wanted to bring in Rice Krispie treats because we did a lemonade stand last week, and both weeks in a row she wanted to make Rice Krispies. But when your child, like mine, wants to make Rice Krispies, she wants to go to Target, buy the marshmallows and the Rice Krispies, and then watch me make them in the kitchen while she goes on her iPad. And I scream at her, I'm like, "Are you gonna help me?" She's like, "What?" So then I had to make. I spent like an hour making Rice Krispies, and then we brought them. And I had
Rice Krispies take 2 seconds to make it.
I know. Well.
Are they good?
They're easy enough to make, and they're delicious. We mix Fruity Pebbles into ours, so there's sort of like confetti Rice Krispies. Because I do like 80% Rice Krispie, 20% Fruity Pebble. It's then what you do, you melt butter, throw in the marshmallows, and then you just throw the Rice Krispies, and then you use wax paper. What I did learn in the 2 weeks of experimenting with them, one, if you use the recipe on the side of the box, it does not make that many Rice Krispies, so you have to do it like 3 times. And 2, once you roll them out, you need to really tightly pack them.
Yeah. Because
when you cut them and they're tightly packed, they stay
They don't fall
easier.
apart.
Well, no, they don't stick. When you just do a loose spread and then you try to cut them, they just like lose shape, and then it goes everywhere.
There's a recipe on the side of vanilla wafers that I want to try. Banana bread pudding.
Ooh. We've never.
For the fans.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had a recipe for that on the box.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to try that. I haven't tried that.
Very summer-esque.
Okay. Well, maybe that'll be the food recipe of summer. Danny, where as we roll into the summer and your kids are going out of school, we're starting to do a lot of play dates and stuff. Where can people stay in contact with us?
All social media, Instagram, Facebook @DadSoHardPodcast, Twitter @DadSoHardPod. Email us. dadsohardpodcast@gmail.com.
Well, let me tell you,
the website.
The way you just said email us is like F you if you email us. You gotta let people know, please email us.
I'm saying any of the above.
If I was listening to you just now, I would be like, that is the most pathetic. He's like, hey everybody, you're bored out of your
memory. Time I'm doing this.
Truly.
The website, wearedadsohard.com. And I got nothing. I can't even make a witty remark now because he fucking ruined my flow.
Leave us a comment.
Yeah, leave us a comment, rate us, review, subscribe, anywhere you find podcasts, on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify.
Touch my face.
I think that's it.
I don't know, tweet us.
I think that's
I'm having an allergy. If you're wondering what time,
keep tuning in and have a great summer and happy ending of school for all the kids out there.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Yeah. That'll be over the next few weeks. But anyway.
Well, you'll hear from us hopefully.
Thanks for listening. Peace.
Peace.